8 neglected gems of Robocop's Peter Weller. You probably know Peter Weller for his iconic role in Robocop and its sequel where he plays the titular character. The enigmatic personality has left a strong impression in the film industry with his unique brand of work. He has worked with the likes of Woody Allen, David Cronenberg, and Oliver Stone in a variety of projects that celebrates his glorious career. What many are unaware of is that he is also an educated gentleman who is known for his well-mannered nature despite his stardom. He is a doctorate scholar and has studied theater and arts. Besides his blooming acting career, he has taught ancient history courses at Syracuse University. As for his acting, he has been honored with a Saturn Award and Academy Award nominations for his various roles. While Robocop was a massive commercial hit, some of his other movies did not get as much recognition, despite being exquisite works. In this video, we will celebrate some of his unsung works that you ought to check out. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Time. Leviathan, 1989. When a mining company comes across a Soviet wreck during a diving mission, they bring back a dangerous cargo. Soon they are at the mercy of a genetic mutation that starts to hunt them down one by one. A rescue mission isn't possible due to a hurricane on the surface, and now the crew members must battle for survival in such terrifying conditions. The director, George P. Cosmatos, is the man credited with classics like the Rambo sequel and Cobra. He delivers the goods with this movie, as well as the brilliant acting by Peter Weller helps the cause. He plays the role of a cool-headed, calm supervisor who manages the problems without breaking a sweat. The musical score by Jerry Goldsmith is impressive and in perfect sync with the mood of the film. There is generous dose of action in this movie, and the creature effects add a very scary touch. With the amount of suspense and horror in store for you, it would be a pity if you brushed aside this cinematic gem. Screamers, 1995. Screamers are a group of man-made killing machines that are designed to eliminate the enemy. During a long-drawn war, when the soldiers are attempting a negotiated ceasefire, a new problem comes to the fore. They realize that what they created to assassinate enemies are now sentient beings who are planning to destroy their makers as well. Thus begins a battle of survival with man pitted against a machine. What happens next will blow your mind. The biggest takeaway from this movie is how a brilliant story can be depicted with a reasonable budget. This film will better your expectations when it comes to the ambience of paranoia that it manages to create. The performance of Peter Weller is the icing on the cake, as the makers take particular care to replicate the magic of the short story by Philip K. Dick, which they have adapted here. The intense pace of the story will keep you hooked on to the very end. They don't make such classics anymore, and this is one Peter Weller movie that you don't want to skip.
Hey, where you going? Don't do it, there'll be hell to pay.
Naked Lunch, 1991. In this bizarre plot, an exterminator is addicted to the bug powder that he uses. When he accidentally kills his wife, he is faced with a series of hallucinations. In these, he imagines himself to be working as a secret agent who answers to some giant bugs. He even goes about writing the reports of these delusional missions. The movie might seem to be incomprehensible in the first viewing, but once you get the hang of things, this film makes quite an impact. The metaphor for substance abuse with a powerful message is narrated in the garb of an entertaining story. The plot takes you to a journey into the minds of an addict, where the lines between reality and fiction are blurred. With the expertise of David Cronenberg and Peter Weller, the characters are brought to life. It might amaze you that the story is actually the real-life take on how the Burroughs wrote the book Naked Lunch, faced with the hurdles of substance abuse. Shakedown, 1988. When a drug dealer shoots a cop, the charges are being investigated by another cop. The drug dealer claims to have shot him in self-defense, and his attorney pursues the evidence. Together, they soon stumble upon evidence to suggest that there is a lot of corruption in the system, and the corrupt cop has a lot of skeletons in his closet. However, bringing justice won't be the easiest, with all the other corrupt officials causing hindrance in their path. The highlight of the movie is the inspiring performance by Peter Weller, who plays the challenging role of a frustrated attorney who wants to help defend a troubled youth. Sam Elliott as the cop also pulls off a stunner, and the duo makes the viewing experience worthwhile. Besides the terrific acting, the film benefits from the air of thrill and suspense that is built around the characters. There are some unforgettable action scenes, such as the one with a man hanging onto a jet, or the one where a train goes hurtling over the edge. Despite the low budget, the movie delivers an entertaining package that will make for the perfect popcorn flick for a fun evening.
Man, start already!
Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2. The Dark Knight narrates an alternative story of the legendary Bruce Wayne. In this setup, he is 55 years old and returns from retirement. The Gotham police is opposed to his return, and even the government isn't a willing player. There is a new Robin character, Carrie Kelly, who helps out the aging Batman against the ruthless street gang called the Mutants. You also have the iconic villains like Joker and Two-Face in the mix of things, and there is even a confrontation between Superman, who works for the government. In short, this version of Batman is no less entertaining than some cinematic versions. When it comes to the animated Batman, the voiceover is usually provided by Kevin Conroy. But in this case, Peter Weller was given this uphill task of pleasing the fans with his voice acting. He did so gracefully with a performance that was hailed by even the most stringent Batman fans. It ranks as one of the best-selling novels by Frank Miller, and Peter does justice to the quality content that changed the image of the hero forever. Released in 2 parts, the animated movies are close to the hearts of all Batman fans. Unknown Origin, 1983. How obsessed can you get while trying to get rid of a rodent in your basement? The character of Peter Weller in this movie, Bart, is concerned he turns into a maniac and ends up destroying much of his home. It all starts when his wife and son leave for vacation while he is alone in the house. A rat in his basement drives him crazy, and he does pretty much everything to get rid of it, even if it means destroying his own house. Peter steals the show as the protagonist, who is determined to finish off the devilish rat in his house. The camera work in this movie is impressive, and in some cases, the shots are such that they shoot from the perspective of the eyes of the rat. There are some hilarious moments as well, such as when Bart is obsessed with the rat and delivers a speech at the dinner table on the same. The scenes with the rat will put a smile on your face because this smart rodent is always one step ahead of Bird. This is a very effective thriller with a lighter tone, and you will certainly enjoy this underrated classic.
I'll try.
50-50, 1992. Buddy cop movies are often entertaining, and here you have a buddy mercenary flick. It tells the story of 2 mercenaries who are hired by the CIA to overthrow a ruthless dictator in Southeast Asia. But before they set out about their actual mission, they must settle the differences between them. Will they succeed in their plans? Peter Weller and Robert Hyas, the 2 main leads in this movie, are like chalk and cheese. Yet, they must work together, and this provides a lot of fun moments. The story takes heart from the movies like Rambo, Commando, and Lethal Weapon, but eventually delivers a unique plot. Lots of gunfights and explosions punctuate this fine movie, and there are enough violence and gore to satisfy the action movie buffs. The musical score for the movie is fun to listen to, and with the catchy one-liners, the film becomes a must-watch for the fans of Peter Weller.